Good morning, everyone. This week's parsha begins with Yosef and his multiple dreams, and how he relates his dreams to his brothers. His brothers are envious of him because of these dreams. And in his dreams, he dreams that he'll be a ruler over them. But Yosef has two dreams. The first dream is that he says, I was out in the field, and all of your stalks of grain stood up. My stalk stood up, and all of your sheaves of grain bowed to my sheaf of grain. That was dream number one. Then he has a second dream, dream number two, where he says the sun and the moon and the 11 stars were bowing down to me. Now both dreams have the same message. I'm going to rule, you're going to bow down to me. And both dreams came true. Ultimately, Yosef became the ruler, despite all the attempts of the brothers to kill him. And they all came and bowed down to him. The question is, why two dreams? If both dreams have the same message, Joseph's the ruler and they will be subjugated, subservient to him, why do you need two dreams to communicate the same idea, the same vision, the same message? And the answer is very interesting. When you look at the brothers bowing down to Yosef, which was the fulfillment of the dream, there were two stages. Stage number one was when they came to Egypt to buy food. In that case, they were bowing down to what? His sheaf of grain. They needed his food, so they were bowing down to him. But then, ultimately, he reveals his identity to his brothers. He's reunited with his brothers, and they see that he remained Yosef HaTzadik, the righteous Joseph. They see that he forgave them, and now they would still bow down to him, but no longer were they bowing down to him because he was the provider of the food. He had the key to the storehouses of food in the time of famine. Now they were bowing down to him as a person. And you can see that in the dreams. In the first dream, it says they were bowing down to my sheaf of grain. In the second dream, they're bowing Shemesh ve'Yareach, sun and moon, v'achad sar kochavim, mishtachvam li, they're bowing down to me, the person Joseph. And in life, you find that very much. People often bow down to other people, but the question is why? Sometimes they're just bowing down to their sheaves of grain. They need their money, they need their business, they need whatever it is. So they bow down, but it's a very superficial bowing. But then, sometimes you get to know the person, you say, I'm no longer showing you honor and respect because of the food you provide, the money, the opportunities in business, or whatever it is. I've come to respect you as a person, and I'm bowing to your persona, to your character. And that's why it's only after the second dream that it says, Aviv shamar et hadavar, Yaakov guarded the matter and prayed, as Rashi says, when will this happen? Because the first dream that my son will be a powerful ruler and everyone will bow down to him because he's powerful, that doesn't impress Yaakov. That's not nachas that Yaakov is looking forward to. When he hears that Joseph will be righteous and they will bow to him as the person, that is what Yaakov says, I hope my son will be that kind of a person. What Jewish parents want are kids that people will respect for who they are, not just because of what opportunities they could offer other people. Tell a story about a tzaddik who came to a town and he was unknown. So nobody would invite him. He was just like a poor Jew. Some old poor guy invited him to his house, a simple Jew. Many years later he came back, and now he was already a well-known tzaddik. And he came with white horses and beautiful carriages, and he had gaboyim, he had chassidim, followers, a whole entourage. So when the head of the community, the president of the community, heard that this great rabbi was in town, he sent a message, I want you to be my guest for Shabbos. I want to have the honor of having this great rabbi in my house for Shabbos. So they came to this big tzaddik, and they said, the head of the community wants to invite you to his house for Shabbat. So this righteous man said, take my horses and my wagons and send them to him and say they're going to be his Shabbos guests, the horses. I'm going back to the house of this simple Jew who invited me last time I came to town. So the head of the community was offended. He came running. He said, I don't understand. I give you such a nice invitation to my house. You insult me. You embarrass me. You send me the horses to be my guest for Shabbos. So the tzaddik said, look, I was in this town a number of years ago. I came as a simple Jew. No one knew who I was. And you didn't invite me. Now I come back with white horses and carriages. All of a sudden you're inviting me. So I said to myself, what's the difference? How come last time you didn't invite me, this time you invited me? Obviously what you're impressed with is not me, but my horses. So if you're so impressed with my horses, take my horses as your Shabbos guests. But I'm going to go back to the simple Jew. And that's the idea. A lot of times in society, people bow down to other people because of the car they drive, the house they live in, whatever it is. what we should look for is, if there's going to be honor, kavod, it should be honor that's well-earned, genuine. That people should respect you for who you are as a person, not because of your superficial titles or power or money or influence.